Hello, everyone. Jimmy Boyd here for the BetFirms.com 2012 Cincinnati Reds MLB predictions and season preview article. The Cincinnati Reds are looking to take back the top spot in the NL Central after a disappointing 79-83 finish to the 2011 year. Last year, the Reds didn't make a lot of moves after winning the division in 2010, but general manager Walt Jocketty believes he has added the right pieces for 2012. Cincinnati went out and traded for a proven starter in Matt Latos, a reliable setup man in Sean Marshall, and a shutdown closer in Ryan Madson. With Albert Pujols leaving St. Louis and Prince Fielder not returning to Milwaukee, Cincinnati believes they are the team to beat in the Central. Let's take a look at the Reds' projected starting lineup, starting rotation, and closer situation to find out if they are. At catcher is Ryan Hanigan. With the decision to not bring back veteran Ramon Hernandez, Hanigan will likely open the 2012 season as the everyday catcher. Hanigan isn't a real threat offensively. He hit just .267 with 6 home runs and 31 RBI in 266 at-bats last year. Don't be surprised if youngster Devin Masaraco steals a lot of playing time from Hanigan this season. First base is Joey Votto. With Pujols and Fielder both jumping to the AL, Votto is the best first baseman in the NL has to offer. Votto didn't live up to his MVP numbers from 2010, but still hit .309 with 29 home runs and 103 RBI. As good as Votto has been so far in his career, I still think his best years are ahead of him. At second is Brandon Phillips. Phillips has emerged into the class of elite second baseman with yet another outstanding season in 2011. His career-high .300 batting average topped all NL second basemen, plus he hit 18 home runs with 82 RBI. When you factor in how great he is defensively, three-time Golden Glove winner, you can see why he's considered one of the best at his position. Over at shortstop is Zach Cozart. Cincinnati got a glimpse of Cozart's potential last year, before his season was limited to just 11 games because of an elbow injury. Cozart showcased his talents by hitting .324 with 2 home runs and an impressive 7-game hitting streak in his first 7 games. At third is Scott Rowland. The Reds are hoping they can get one more season out of the soon-to-be 37-year-old Rowland. After a remarkable 2010 season where he hit .285 with 20 home runs and 83 RBI, Rowland was limited to just 65 games because of injuries. As a result, he hit just .242 with 5 homers and 36 RBI. Out and left is Chris Hazy. Hazy is expected to get a chance to start every day in left field after a couple of seasons used primarily as a backup. He hit just .254 and 480 career at-bats, but he has some power worth keeping an eye on. After hitting just 8 home runs and 201 at-bats in 2010, Hazy belted 18 home runs in just .279 last season. In center is Drew Stubbs. There's no denying the fact that Stubbs has the potential to be a great player, but he has to start making more contact. His 40 stolen bases and 15 home runs were overshadowed by the fact that he struck out a franchise record 205 times last season. Out and right is Jay Bruce. Bruce is coming off an all-star season in 2011, but he has to figure out how to be more consistent. He finished up the year with an impressive 32 home runs and 97 RBI, but 12 of his home runs and 33 of his RBI came in the month of May. He hit just .228 in April and .217 in June, with just 6 home runs in those 2 months combined. Now we'll move on to the rotation, which leads off with Johnny Cueto. Cueto is coming off arguably his best season to date. His 2.31 ERA and 1.09 WHIP were both career bests. His 9-5 record is a bit misleading. 5 of his no decisions were a result of a blown save. Next will be Matt Latos. Latos figures to give the Reds a potent 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. The 24-year-old is coming off a 9-14 season with the Padres, but his 3.47 ERA and 1.18 WHIP tell you he pitched a lot better than his record would indicate. The one thing to keep in mind, Latos goes from pitcher-friendly Petco Park to hitter-friendly Great American Ballpark. Then there's Bronson Arroyo. Arroyo battled mono most of last season, and it seemed to really affect his performance. He still went out and started 32 games for the Reds, but he finished the year just 9-12 with a horrible 5.07 ERA. Look for the veteran to bounce back with numbers more similar to his 3.88 ERA and 17 wins of 2010. Then there's Mike Leake. The 24-year-old led the Reds with 12 wins in 2011 and just his second season in the bigs. Leake lowered his ERA from 4.23 to 3.86 and his WHIP from 1.50 to 1.17. If he can just match his numbers from last year, he'll give the Reds a legit starter at the back end of the rotation. Then there's Homer Bailey. Bailey's shown flashes of brilliance in his career, but he needs to start producing if he wants to stay in the rotation. He went 9-7 with a 4.43 ERA and 1.28 WHIP and a career-high 22 starts last year, but could end up getting bumped from the rotation if the Reds decide to make Aroldis Chapman a starter this season. The closer will be Ryan Madson. Francisco Cordero saved 37 games for the Reds last year, but his best years were behind him. Cincinnati is excited about having Madison close their games out, as he converted 32 of 34 save opportunities with the Phillies last year. With the Reds' offense and the new look of their starting staff, Madison could save upwards of 40-plus games this season.